Hey guys, welcome back to Casual Corner Chats. I'm Luke.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Sam.
I'm Vu.
And,
And
and we have our guest today, and our guest is...
I'm Julian. Hey guys.
All right, Julian, please introduce how are you related to us?
You got a little family going on here, I see. I'm related to Jenny, but not. I'm Jenny's boyfriend.
All right.
Yeah.
Not that kind of related, eh? Yes, welcome to our little podcast. And today's episode, you guys, we will be talking about exes and what we do with them, okay? So first things first, I just wanted to say, so I've been recently single, you guys.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything until now. But yeah, it's been...
That's all right.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's been about, 3.5 weeks?
Since Europe?
Whoa.
So literally the day after I came back from Europe.
Whoa.
I'm in shock.
Is this the right medium right now, man? Like,
Like,
fuck.
Are you okay?
it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Like, honestly, it'll be fine, you guys. But anyways, yeah, like, I'll get into the details maybe later, but let's go through the episode before you guys, talk about your feelings and, like, delve into stuff, all right?
I don't care about my feelings. I care about your feelings, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, don't worry, we'll get through this.
Okay.
But yeah, so literally, it was my first relationship, first serious relationship. Oh, it doesn't matter, first relationship. And I actually wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys do with your exes? That's a legitimate question.
Put them in the trash.
Exes are exes for a reason. That's
Yes.
my philosophy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't think you can stay friends with your exes.
Yeah.
I personally don't think it works
Yeah.
out.
I'm the same as Sam.
Have you guys tried it before?
Yeah.
I personally haven't. No, I actually haven't. No, I haven't.
Yeah, I went no contact with my ex, so there's no chance of us being friends or anything like that. Yeah.
All right. So,
No, wait, what about you, Julian?
Yeah. No, I haven't been friends with my ex, but I think at the start of the breakup, we both imagined that we would. But then went on exchange for like 7 months. And then I guess things just sort of changed from there. And
Yeah,
then,
naturally.
yeah.
Yeah.
is it any different if you guys are part of the same friend circle?
That makes it a lot
Yeah,
harder.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
definitely makes it a
messy.
lot harder. I haven't been in a position like that, so
Yeah, same.
I can't.
Actually,
I can't. Yeah, comment about that.
I mean, in my case, my friend chose sides, and I guess I got the two of you in the divorce.
Oh, right. That's right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a fair point.
But I love that for him.
Your partner chose sides or
friends. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
we won't go into the details about it, but yeah, that's what kind of happened. Yeah. What
did you
say?
have to choose? Really, we were Vu's friends before.
I mean,
Well,
Anyway,
yeah, we'll go maybe
fine,
another time.
that's fine.
But yeah, I wanted to ask: is there a whole process to breaking up? Like, what are the usual things that you guys go through or do to make sure a breakup is clean?
clean. Break it up.
Clean. That's hard. Well, I think the way to handle a breakup is usually like no contact. Usually, I think that's like easier to like for both parties. Usually, in the end, like in the long run, to have no contact. It is hard, obviously, when you're like you've been in a relationship for a very long time. You talk to them every day. You tell them everything. But I think essentially that's like the best move to make is to like have no contact. Otherwise, you'll be nostalgic and you'll think about like, oh, why did we break up? Like, can we actually work on these things? I think having that not in your face makes it a little bit easier to like come to terms with. Either being the person that you like that got broken up with, or had to break up with that person.
so even in the context of a healthy breakup, going non-contact is the better option.
I think so, but
Okay.
I think that there's a lot of factors that play, right? Like,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
say,
yeah.
for example, you live together,
Yeah.
or used to live together, or had a pet together, or obviously had
this
a
is
child. Like,
deeply personal
yeah,
thing.
like it's obviously dependent on many variables, but I think when it comes to like, I guess in like younger age relationships, like when we were like young adults, younger adults. We're still young adults. Sorry. But yeah, I think oh sorry. Yeah, I think it's better to just do it that way. But it's easier said than done because I know I haven't I like struggled with that for sure.
Should we go around the room and say how many exes we all have?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I just want to know who's experienced at the topic at hand.
No, that's a good question, yeah. No, you can
I
go
have
first.
one
Viv.
ex.
I've got 3.
As you may already heard, this is my first one. Yeah.
Okay. I would count 1. But like high school.
That counts.
Like, but they weren't really serious.
Okay.
Like one serious one.
Okay.
That's it.
I guess.
Okay, yeah, 1 as well.
Really?
Huh. I expected more around the table. No, but
Yeah,
no, not just you. Like,
Yeah.
I, as a whole group, I thought we would have more under our belt.
Yeah, why am I?
Yeah, I genuinely thought I was
Why
the
are you
outlier.
most? No, sorry. I'm joking.
Like I've only ever been in 2 relationships my whole life, and I genuinely thought I was like the outlier in that.
In terms of having only 2?
Yeah, like 2
Oh.
long-term serious relationships.
Yeah,
How
I
long-
honestly thought so too.
Well,
I-
okay. Maybe I'll change mine to 2. Long term, but not serious.
I think that still counts. Like long-term is still a thing.
2.
Okay.
Interesting. I don't know. Thinking about it now, besides you guys, the people I do hang out with, they have more under the belt. And it's just like,
Yeah, so are we weird?
likewise.
Are we weird?
Yeah, likewise. I think most
like,
of my friends have had more.
If you think about it, like for the years that we have been dating, let's say from 18 to now, how many relationships could you possibly, how many long-term relationships could you possibly put under that amount of years, really?
You could. If like what? If you count at 1 year as a
Yeah.
long relationship?
Yeah, pretty much I had a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Okay.
So-
Fair enough.
in that
Yeah.
order?
Yes, in that order.
Okay.
Yes.
Maturity.
If
Time's
you put it to
ticking.
that, if you put it to that.
Yeah,
I don't
time's
know.
ticking on your current boyfriend. Yeah, you got 4 years with him. Is that right? Yeah.
Oh my god, I
It's
hope longer.
decided in the
I hope longer.
stars.
I really hope longer.
Alright. So yeah, the other stuff I was thinking about is like, what do you do about exchanging of stuff besides like non-contact? Because I only heard of this non-contact stuff recently. I didn't feel like it was a huge thing back then.
Sorry, you didn't think that you would go non-contact with your ex?
Yeah, like she brought it up. And I'm like, oh, and I've heard it in the past. Oh, not in the past. Bro, sorry. Like, I only heard about the non-contact thing within the last year. Never have I heard about it like in high school, first years of uni or whatnot. This is my first like thing about hearing non-contact. Is this new?
I think it's like, given a name of non-contact, might be a newer concept, but like
Yeah.
actually doing the thing.
Yeah, it's
is
always
probably
been
like
a thing.
trauma response. You just stay
Yeah.
away from it.
Yeah, I think it's always been a thing. I would say.
But now it's like an actual statement like, hey, non-contact.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's been codified. Yeah.
Yeah.
From like,
Oh,
I don't know,
cool.
TikTok and whatnot.
I think
Ideas travel faster now.
I think it's like a realistic / like maturity thing as well. Like as we've aged, I think it comes with that. Like I think back then, I think we were naive a little bit to think that we could maintain friends, for example, a little bit. That's how I feel, I think. So yeah, maybe it's to do with that. But yeah, I think it's a lot more clearer now. Like that's like a stage after a breakup.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Interesting. All right. So again, back to the point of exchanging with stuff. Like, did you guys actually exchange stuff?
What do you mean? Sorry, explain it.
Like, are there stuff that you have of your ex and you had to give back, or did you keep? Like that kind of stuff.
I personally haven't exchanged anything.
Yeah.
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 I personally haven't exchanged anything.
But I feel like because we've never lived with a partner, it's a different story. We
Yeah.
don't have their stuff in our place.
Yeah. I think that would be a different situation if we were living there. Like we'd obviously be living in the same vicinity and
What about gifts they got you?
Or we like throw it out or give it back to them.
Well, yeah. Like, what do you do with that? Like,
Julian, you gotta watch out.
Hey, yo, that microphone over there, that's razor.
wait, genuinely,
Yeah.
so
I've sold clothes off Facebook Marketplace.
from
my
that your
ex's
ex.
jacket.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in
Interesting.
every breakup, like that's what you would do.
Yeah. If it doesn't hold any sentimental value, I just.
Yeah, but like by definition, it does hold some amount of like sentimental value because they bought it for you. Or is it after the breakup you're like, fuck this person?
Yeah.
Like laters.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
To some stuff, at least, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What if they ask for it back? Has
I'll
has
give it
that
back to
been
them.
thought? But like
no.
you've
What if
sold
you've
it.
sold
but
nothing has sold that fast.
okay, but in the event, what do you actually do? Out of curiosity, knocking on wood. Let's
no,
say you
it's
broke it
gone,
up.
It's gone. So no.
Okay, is
you
that
give
what you
them
tell them? It's like,
cash?
oh, I sold it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
I
what
would
else
just
would you
sell
say
it.
in that situation? I think that situation itself, like,
I don't know. I thought you would like lie and say, oh, I lost it,
Yeah, just something like, oh, it's not here.
rather than, oh yeah, sorry, I sold it.
Yeah.
It was $100.
It's pretty cold, like honestly.
But
Alright, yeah.
it was a gift to me, so it's technically mine. Why can't I just sell it?
Yeah.
True.
No, that's fair.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
What if it's their thing that they've left at your place
Oh, then I would have given them the option to take it.
over Facebook
Before selling it.
Marketplace?
that makes sense. Yeah, I just find it really interesting because I don't think I broke up with any of my like partners on like bad terms, so I didn't feel the necessity to get rid of things.
Okay, so you still have everything?
I still have things.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is the selling of the thing like driven by spite then?
No.
No,
I
just practicality.
Yeah.
Or
Why-
you don't
why
want
do I
to
need so
remember.
much stuff that I don't need?
Okay.
Okay.
But it's not
Okay.
like you look at the thing and you remember them and you'd rather not, so you sell it?
No.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Just I just
That's
don't
really
need it.
interesting.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
That
enough.
makes sense.
What about you, Julian? Do you have any stuff from your past?
Well, I don't. Yeah, well, I think I moved before or just right around when I started dating Jenny. So the stuff is like in my old house, in my old cupboard. But yeah, I don't look at it or think about it. So yeah, and I don't think there was any like big things, like expensive things to give back. So I think she's left a pair of slippers. Yeah.
Not fair enough.
chuck it out. No,
No,
okay.
I gave it back. I gave it
Oh,
back.
okay.
What about like anniversary gifts, like the big milestone
Yeah,
ones?
no,
Do you
that's-
keep
That's
that?
the thing. I have a few of those where it's like handmade type stuff, and I still have it, but I can't look at it. You know, it feels wrong to like chuck it away.
But why
'Cause-
does it feel? Because you spent so much time with them.
I think because
Wait,
it
so
was
sorry. They made it for you?
yeah they made it for me,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Like it feels.
Yeah, I'm really curious about this. But
It just feels mean. Like they made it with like the nicest of intentions, and even though my previous relationship ended badly, it feels wrong to chuck it away. It just feels dismissive of the feelings at the time, even though they don't exist now. It just feels wrong.
But they don't serve you.
They don't. You're correct. This could be a thing where I'm like
Yeah. Okay.
to let go is like that's the last thing. But do you guys have anything that's like, you know, handmade sentimental value from your exes?
For 5 years, she got like a plaque that has like stars of where we first met.
Right.
What do you mean stars?
Or like, you know, like because we met at
Actually have
Midnight Mafia.
have this.
Olympic Park. And like we searched out the like what were the stars like at that exact point if you look up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that.
As a
Yeah.
plaque.
Yeah, like a plaque. Yeah.
like a
Like a-
etched plaque or like a print.
Like a print? Print. Yeah. Like that. Like other stuff like that. Like
Cute. Okay.
yeah, like
What do you intend on doing with that?
it's just still in my room, like just there.
I think it's still too early to even think.
Yeah,
about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And then
it's too early. Like it's too early to do that.
and there's also like I got to tell you, I'll tell you the rest of the story later. But yeah, it's just like I was just curious, like anniversary stuff, milestone stuff, important stuff, even pictures and photos. What do you guys do?
Yeah, I think it's
Do you actually delete?
it's once you get over it, then you can go through it.
Is it bad that I haven't like deleted like all the photos, for example? Like you mentioned photos, and I'm like, I haven't deleted all the photos.
I don't think it's bad. I think like everyone has their own is entitled to their own reaction to breakups and moving on and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Even though you have a photo doesn't mean you harbor any feelings towards this person.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And to go through all your old photos to systematically delete your ex out of your life is an amount of vitriol that is indicative of something else. You know.
Yeah.
Like you have to be really
Yeah.
angry to do that, right?
Yeah.
No one's
Yeah.
calmly going back and just deleting photos of your
Well,
ex.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes
it
sense.
indicates that it's like something that you don't want there, where the feeling might just be like nothing rather than like something negative. Like
Yeah.
I don't want this there.
Yeah.
Or rather than just like it's done. I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's what
It's
was
neutral.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Now it's just a photo.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
That's fair.
Interesting. All right, my next point is, what was it? It was, is a breakup ever mutual?
I would say it can be. I haven't been in that situation again, but I would say it can be over
Yeah.
time, maybe over
I
time.
also agree. I think it might just be dependent on the circumstances that they broke up on.
Correct.
Like, what if they have both fallen out of love with each other?
Yes.
Or they both, it can be also mutually really hurting. Like, they both need to move to different countries to do their own thing.
Whoa, that's an extreme.
What?
But it's possible. 100% possible.
Like, with your past relationships, do you call it mutual?
No.
God, no.
No.
Not in my experience, no.
Okay, then here's the question. Assuming that it wasn't mutual, is there ever technically a right or wrong? Like, whose side is right, whose side is wrong?
There can be, yeah.
Oh, in a breakup?
What right or wrong? Like the person could be yeah. Right? Like yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's okay. Like cheating
Yeah,
is definitely
yeah,
like
yeah.
a clear right, like a right or wrong situation. So that's an example
Yeah,
of a wrong.
okay.
So, who's wrong in the sense that, oh, I just don't love you anymore?
I don't think
I
there's a
wouldn't
wrong.
consider that a
Yeah.
right or wrong. I wouldn't consider that a right or wrong.
But isn't it the fact that, like, someone's going to be hurting at one point?
No, it's not a
Yeah?
right or wrong. It's really just your feelings and something that you can't say is wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or right. Yeah. Like it's just
It's just the way you feel. You can't.
correct. It's just an emotion that
But at the time, you
feel.
don't, like, that's not what your brain is processing, right? Like, if you're in pain, you're not going to be like, that person's right. And, like, you know, it's all driven
As
by
in the
emotion,
person, as in like the person receiving.
the
Like,
breakup.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the person receiving the breakup isn't thinking that the person who broke up with them is correct in doing that. You know? Typically, it's like,
What?
It depends.
So
if it's
let's say
mutual, if it's
yeah.
mutual, then maybe yes.
But let's say
Yeah.
if the person that's receiving the breakup is not gonna be like, I want you to stay with me, even though you've fallen out of love with me,
yeah.
right? They're not gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Either.
I mean, like, that's,
They might want to work on it though.
yeah, which is a form of that. It's not as
Yeah.
extreme as
It's not
be
as
with me
extreme.
even though you hate me. It's
Yeah.
like, I want to keep working on this.
Yeah.
And I think whoever is right is whoever you need it to be for you to like move on. So let's say if it's like a unhealthy relationship, for example, the person who is right is you and the person who is wrong is the person that you're breaking up with. And you, even though like the other person may not be completely in the wrong all the time, your brain focuses on that and you need to keep viewing that person as the person who's wrong so you can actually move on from that relationship.
Okay, so like using it as a mechanism.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I get that.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Interesting.
situations there wouldn't be a clear right or wrong,
Mm.
but I
No.
think that like yeah, it depends on how you want to work through it. Like
If you
as
wanna work through
like,
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the example you said, Luke, where somebody's fallen out of love. I feel like that it's like a overtime sort of thing where it could have gone one direction, but it didn't go one direction. And at that decision point later on, it's already too late. So
Yeah.
the right or wrong decisions would have been accumulation of decisions, maybe like 1 year before the actual breakup time, or just for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, not one big right or wrong decision, but a lot of little guiding
Yeah.
decisions.
Because I think, naturally, like you'd obviously want to, like if you obviously genuinely wanted to be in that relationship with someone, you'd obviously want to try and like amend or like work on it. And then over time, as Julian was saying, like if it doesn't get to that stage of like, I guess, wanting to be in that relationship, then there is that decision at the end of
Yeah.
it.
But that's only
Right.
in the situation of falling out of love with someone.
Yes,
Because I
correct.
think falling out of love with someone is always a lot of little
Yes,
things
it's a
that
build up.
accumulate.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not just like a
Yeah.
one time thing. Yeah.
What do you think that like feels like falling out of love with someone?
You haven't experienced it?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
Tough question. Sorry.
Yeah, just as a, do you wake up one day and realize, or do you just think about, you compare about your day today and what you were like several years ago and the feelings that you had then versus now?
I reckon it's a realization. It's just a sudden realization.
I think I sort of agree with him. It's a sudden realization, but it's like a sudden realization on one day, but like then you reflect on it and
Yeah,
you're
it's
like,
reflection.
Okay.
it's,
I agree
it's a
with
bunch
that.
of these little things that have made me fallen out of love with this person.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much of that is the natural course of a relationship versus, you know, newlywed honeymoon type feelings?
Could you phrase that question
Yeah,
again?
can you-
Different way?
So
Can
yeah,
you-
at the beginning of a relationship, it's always, you know, really nice and really fun, and you know, you're doing a bunch of things, and then several years in, like that changes by virtue of time. And so, how can you differentiate falling out of love with someone versus that particular spark becoming a more long-term sustainable thing?
I think you just need to
Wow.
know, like, if you want to be in a relationship with this person and you're not feeling that spark anymore, then you need to work on that relationship with that person.
Yeah.
You know?
You need to reevaluate like what's going not wrong, but like what's
Yeah. Yeah.
not
and, like,
working, I guess.
Yeah, because the only thing I can imagine is like, oh, like a couple will be like, oh, there's no spark anymore. Let's try to work on that. And then it's like
Yeah.
marriage counseling
Yeah.
goes with that.
It's not
to
like
figure out what it
yeah,
is.
It's not like I don't want to be with that person anymore. It's just that maybe our life is not as it used to be, and maybe we should do something to change that routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that normal?
Yeah.
Just as a function of time,
I would
it is,
say
yeah,
it would
yeah,
be
yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
I feel like that
Yeah.
also goes with like,
Goes with life, like in general.
Yeah.
Like if we're going through the same routine, like we obviously want to change things up.
yeah.
In
Yeah, and I feel like that's like renewing your vows and all that. When you
Yeah.
recommit
Okay.
yourself,
Yeah.
do things again, or do something new to spark it up. Right? It's just recommitting yourself, because eventually, like some points. Sorry, it's just funny how you looked at him.
Wow.
He looked at you.
Hey, we hadn't had the first set of vows yet. Relax, brother.
But anyways, yeah, it's just I lost my train of thought, but yeah, the things you do, right? Because eventually we all lose ourselves in a relationship once in a while, and we end up distancing ourselves, and then that's when we have to go back in. It's like a balance that we need, right? But yeah, does that answer the question?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, nice add-on question by the way. Anyone, any other comments?
Just as a complete different question, have any of you backslid? Like went back to your ex?
Oh, that's what I wrote on here. Yes.
I didn't look, I promise. But yeah, anyone went back, you know?
I did.
Okay.
First ex we dated in high school, and then we dated again in uni.
Okay. So it was
Not that I like. It wasn't like, oh, we broke up on bad terms, and then like I couldn't
Get
live
away.
without him,
Yeah.
and then we got back together. It wasn't like that.
yeah, there was a period of time in
yeah, it
between
was
the
a long
relationship.
period of time.
That's fine.
that's really interesting. Can I ask how long the time in between was?
I want to say like 2.5, 3 years, maybe.
And do you know who initiated? I just find it really interesting.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit mutual.
Okay.
Yeah, we we randomly bumped into each other.
Okay.
In the suburb that we live
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And that's how
makes
we
sense.
started.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So you weren't friends during this time? No.
No.
Because yeah. Okay.
Was it pretty clear cut in terms of like not really talking in between those two?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
So I guess that was a mutual breakup, and then it's like, oh, the time passed. We've changed as people. Try it again, kind of deal.
Like a mutual get together.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mean?
Oh, so the like first breakup.
It wasn't mutual, no.
Oh, it wasn't mutual. Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. It was a lot of, high school relationships, a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
So toxic. And I was just sick of it.
Right.
I can't say I do because I didn't date in high school.
Oh yeah, you're a role model here. You're a mentor in this part.
Did anyone else date in high school? Because yeah.
All guys school right here.
I went to an all-girls school.
No
And my
sister
boyfriend
school.
was from an okay.
Yeah, I went to a co-ed, but I didn't.
I didn't date, but I saw someone for a week. It was the worst week of my life. But yeah, no, it was okay. It's okay. But it's the same toxic,
know about
crazy
this?
shit.
You went to the same school. I was too. So
I know it's someone from a different school. You know this person?
don't worry, I'll bleep
Yeah.
out my name. What's happening? Name of shame. No, I'm joking.
No. Do you remember me talking to you about?
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you need to bleep that
We'll
out
bleep.
because
Bleep.
there's way too many mutuals in the circles.
That's true.
But
Yes.
yeah, that was, God, like depressed, manic pixie, dream girl type vibes.
But just for a week.
Just for a week,
Okay.
because
Who decided to?
me.
Okay. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. But the reason why we were even introduced is, because bleep this out too.
Oh.
Wanted to get back at me for
crazy.
talking smack about someone that she had feelings for.
Oh, high school
and-
drama.
Yeah, so yeah.
I
back
was
me
not
up.
a part of this.
No, you weren't. But basically, as like revenge, she
Okay, so
introduced-
back to the topic of toxicity. No, as in like that's what I'm saying. Like it's, I understand now when
So
she was
much
talking about
drama in
toxic.
high
I was like,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. It was so much
understand.
shit, actually.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to cut you off.
no,
but,
that's
like,
fine. That would have been like a 35-minute tangent. So
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
that's-
no, that's fine. But that can be for a different day. But yeah, high school relationships,
All right.
awful.
Interesting. So there was a question I saw on social media, not a like down sad part, but I saw this and I was curious. We talked about this at my workplace as well. So let's say you guys have been dating your partner for 5 years. All right. You buy your dream dog with each other. All right.
Oh, God.
But you share this dog, like you both paid for this training, the school, the vaccinations and everything, but you break up. All right. Who keeps the dog?
I would say it depends on both of their situations.
Perfect. Both perfect
agree.
situations. Both have a house and everything. Perfect situations. Who gets the dog?
I think it goes to the one that's dedicated more time to the dog.
Yeah, that's a good
Honestly.
point. I would say that too.
Yeah, but what if they both dote and love on the dog? You know, they both care about the dog so much.
I know, but whoever has devoted more time with the dog.
Yeah, but
What if
feeding,
they
taking
don't
care
see
of
it's
it.
eye to eye on who's done that?
Yeah. What if
Someone's
they
gotta take
disagree?
over. Someone needs to.
Like, you know, the whole thing, how there's two people standing on opposite ends and the dog goes to whichever side.
My God.
What if
Oh,
the
yeah,
dog
yeah,
just
let
runs
the dog
away?
choose.
What if the dog runs away?
I mean, like, if you're healthy
is
enough,
tough.
you can do a shared custody type situation, right?
So yeah, that's the thing. I heard that people start like co-parenting like pets, right? Would you guys ever do that?
I have friends who do that, so
What?
it's
Like
possible.
friends that have broken up and,
and then have a
co-parent.
pet. Yeah, have a
Oh wow,
have
so
a
this
pet.
exact situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite
Is it like one
interesting.
weekend at the other one and then the other week at the other one, or
It's
how's it like?
Well, so she moved to London, but
Oh.
when she was here,
Okay. Oh, okay.
and her ex-partner was here as well, like they would alternate, but I think that because she had a bigger space, she would take care of the dog a lot more.
Okay.
But then when, she would have like holidays or like alternate weekends, then the dog would be at his. So I guess it's co-parenting in that sense. But I would say it's mainly her dog because he's over there in London with her.
All right, but so would you guys actually do it? That's the thing. Would you do it?
Depends on how I broke up with my ex, right?
Yeah, a messy breakup. Take the dog, bro.
You just sell on Facebook Marketplace.
No, it's a dog.
Oh, that's so good.
Full circle moment there.
Oh god.
Julian.
Yeah. What about? Sorry. What about you two?
Yeah, I think I think co-parenting would probably be the way I would want to go, and maybe like longer periods of time between. So maybe you have to meet up with them less, and then I don't know. Never had a
Probably.
pet, to be honest.
Yeah. Probably have to make a judgment call like later down the track of like who would take the dog at the end. Because I think it would be too much of like, obviously both partners in that relationship will have a relationship with someone else. So then I think it's just too much.
I
back and
agree.
forth.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think at some
It
point
could work maybe.
one
but-
person needs to give up and just get another dog.
Right.
Sounds bad, but like I don't know. That's sort of the reality.
I saw one of the comments. It's like, be careful because someone could be using that dog as a way to just like constantly see the ex. Like you
Yeah.
mean like
Yeah.
you can't really go
it's in
non-contact
a-
if you
if it's-
co-parent, right?
Yeah.
But then it's not like the dog's gonna rat on you, you know?
But it's like just to see. But
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
enough, it's just like, oh, I got to see them.
Yeah.
for a
Look,
split
if your
second.
ex is
That
a bad
interaction.
person, that's like a completely different thing, right? Like,
Right,
You know,
right.
at that point, you should go non-contact,
Right.
and steal the dog, like Jenny said.
Yeah.
Right. The next part, this is my added on part. And this is where the big topic came into with my co-workers. Let's say 5 months after of co-parenting the dog, it's your turn to drop off the dog to your ex's house. All right. You take the dog and the dog, whatever. You take the, the door opens and there's someone else answering the door. How do you feel about that?
Depends on the breakup, right?
Yeah. I think it depends on the breakup. Like, I think it would have probably been nice to have been informed, probably.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Be
ahead of
informed.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if it's just them at their home, for example, and it's not their ex. I think it would have probably been. It's kind of like, I don't know why I've just thought about this, but it's like when you're going to have a child and then, it's the exact same concept, right? Like, I don't want to be surprised like that.
Yeah.
And like someone else taking care of my child that I don't know of,
Yep.
kind of thing. It's exactly the same concept.
Yeah, it's
I would
just
say.
communication, right? Like that's
Yeah.
if you're still co-parenting, then like you're still talking, so
Exactly.
it's still a
Yeah,
relevant
like,
piece of
just
information.
have the decency to
Yep.
tell that person in advance.
Guys, what about you? What are your your opinions? Sorry. What would you do? How would you feel? That's an important one that everyone brought up. How would you actually feel though? Besides being obviously blindsided and like all that,
Yeah.
but like, I'll give you the
mean-
list of answers that everyone at my workplace said. But you guys, as guys, how would you feel if open the door and there's another guy answering?
Well, how long after would it have been?
So this is
5 months.
after a 5-year relationship, 5-month separation.
So exact
Just-
these numbers.
It is what it is.
It
I
is what
guess,
it is.
yeah. After the shell shock, you just, I guess, I don't know. I've never been on the side where it's like you've got broken up with. So then if you've got broken up with, then 5 months later you've been replaced. And you're just there to give a dog back. And then you get right in the face. It's like, okay, this is another guy.
Another
pretty
guy,
brutal.
another guy is touching my dog.
And my girl, damn.
No longer your girl. Let's be real.
But yeah, no, I think, yeah, you would just have to get over it, and maybe then you would find a reason to stop co-parenting the dog because you don't want to go there anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
dependent on the breakup, right?
Right. Veer, what was your response?
In my case, it would have been good luck to the new guy, you know. But if it like all things equal, like it would suck, and you know you just have to realize that this is a eventuality at some point. Like you will have to deal with the idea of your ex moving on from you, and same goes. It just so happens that one did it first, and
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
it's time for you to process and deal with that particular emotion, and it's fine. Like, you know, it sucks and it's pain, but that's what every breakup is, you know. And with time, it's just going to get easier. But yeah,
Right. So the different answers at my workplace was one, don't feel anything at all. If it was a mutual breakup, then you should have cut all your feelings. I know that was actually, yeah, that's a clear cut.
5 months is short time, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I was thinking about it. I was like, well,
after
5 months, I should be able to be okay with it. I should be. I don't know. Going through a breakup now, I'm not sure anymore. But like it should be clear cut, and you should be having understanding because you see each other back and forth, and you should know each other's daily lives to be like, there's no feelings anymore, right? Because it's a constant, ongoing basis.
but wouldn't
Yeah.
be like the fact that they didn't tell you, like, wouldn't you feel some type of way that this is how you found out that piece of information?
I feel like also it's like it is their life at the end of the day. Like I'm technically not part of their world anymore, so they shouldn't be telling me everything. It's not like I'm gonna
But you are part of their world
Yeah,
because you
exactly.
co-parent a dog.
not to that extent. Like I used to, yeah, I'll be the boyfriend. I'll be the boyfriend, but now I'm like the co-parenter. Yeah, like I don't like. Am I expected them to tell me how many times they had sex? Am I expected to know?
That's a different
Or like,
Yeah,
or like, if my body count rises, am I expected to tell
no,
them?
those are different things.
I feel like it's just a realm of well, this is not everyone's else reasoning, by the way. This is just what they say. Other answers was like, yeah, of course, we'll definitely feel hurt. I mean, 5 years down the drain, and they already got someone new. I don't agree with that. Other answers was, we get to keep the dog now. They got someone new. We got to someone new. We're keeping the dog. That's a clear cut answer. And then,
If you could swing that. Yeah.
and then other,
these answers.
yeah, and then there was another answer. Well, it's like, what was it? Like, you show no pain. you show no pain. It's all right to hurt. It's all right to feel. But at that point, you must realize you need to move on as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
you can
definitely-
show pain, but like it's, you know, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like eventually you do have to move on. So
Yeah. Like, yeah, some of these answers are really quite
Wait,
interesting.
how did you get all these answers? Did you like go around the room? Did you go up to them
It was
individually?
literally this topic was going on for a month. We kept like asking every single person we like saw. It's like you gotta break it. Like it was literally a 50-50 split of what the answer was gonna be. And then we got more people in. It started to branch off a little bit, different answers here and there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
I mean, the reality
So,
is
like,
you're.
So like everyone in your workplace was asking different people about this situation.
oh no, it was just a core few of us, and we
Yeah.
just started branching out, asking every time we saw someone new. It's like,
Right.
hey, what about this? Hey, about this? We gotta ask you. We gotta get a
Damn, it sounds
more
like a cult.
even.
It's like an icebreaker. Like,
It's just something we do when we bought. It was like, all right, we gotta ask more girls. All right, we gotta ask more boys. All right, we gotta ask more older people, just to balance and like have a
Yeah.
a
Okay.
thing. But
The
yeah,
scientific
So then,
method.
do you like split into your little answers, the groups?
sorry.
Similar answers? Do you split into groups and like socialize with each other?
Oh, that way. But it's like we just like.
What do you do with these answers? Is my
No,
question.
it's just we just find out who's on whose side.
There's a
Yeah.
database.
Hey,
Luke,
we're
Luke
talking
has a
about it right
database
now.
on his computer.
It's working, right? But yeah, that's just the main point. It's just things that we talk about when we're bored.
Yeah.
Like we'll bring that as another work topic, another episode topic. But yeah, I just wanted to see what your thoughts were. All right. The next point. Oh my gosh, where it was. Sorry, just a sec. The next topic is: do you guys have a process? Oh well, you guys have mostly been only had one ex, but what is the process that you guys went through after that one ex?
Okay, let's go around.
oh, okay, sure. Process. Honestly, I think I'm the type of person so I've been in a situation where I've broken up with that person, but also been broken up with. And I think in both situations, one of the things that like was in both was that I would keep myself busy. So I would like put my all in everything that I do, like work, exercise. Like I exercise like crazy after for my mental health and also my physical health.
The post-breakup glow up.
Correct.
That's always a thing. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I did that too.
Yeah. I think that's one method that I would normally do when I break up with someone is to like, I guess, focus on myself, but it's also like harming myself in the sense that I'm just like driving and I'm just pushing myself like to keep myself busy. So obviously I get burnt out and then I then go towards like friends and family and like the support network that I have. That's usually the typical kind of
But is that
process.
do you do that when you break up with people too? Like why do you feel like you need to distract yourself when you break up with someone?
I think because they're still like obviously after the breakup, like they're no longer in my life. So I still need to like keep myself busy because I'm like where all that time that I
Yeah,
spent
okay.
with that person, what am I going to allocate that time to now?
Okay, there's a void now.
There is a void, correct. And so I'm just like pushing and like working on those kind of things and like myself in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah. And giving, like I guess attention to myself in that process. Yeah. Someone else speak, please.
I'm pretty much the same. I think keep myself busy, but I think I gravitate more towards like I hang out with friends more. Just fill out my time, I guess. Yeah, I think it's definitely hard, and no contact is really hard.
Yeah.
The first couple months, year actually. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. I would agree.
Yeah, so for me, I had like, I don't think we did the no contact thing. It just kind of petered out after a bit. But then I went on exchange after 3 months after the breakup. And I think it was like, yeah, it was difficult because I probably should have done more things to keep myself busy. But yeah, I was on exchange and then I was just like doing uni stuff and I had like my own place. So yeah, it was interesting living alone, but I don't think I kept my mind off it enough at the time. So I kind of lingered there for about 3 months, and then after that I went traveling, and then I think backpacking helped. Yeah, solo backpacking, and then meeting up with some friends during the midway. So yeah, it was probably not as clean as it was, as other exes might be, but like yeah, I don't think that there's a set way to do it. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that too. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, Vu.
My instinct was to be a toxic, terrible piece of shit. Instinct. Like I went through my breakup, and I think it was a bad breakup and bad relationship. So part of the energy that I had afterwards to try and get over it was, like the universe owed me something because it took 6 years of my life away, and so now I'm gonna go get it. And I didn't care who I was gonna hurt or make sad along the way. But as I was gearing up to do that, COVID happened, and we were locked down for several months. And so I guess I have COVID to thank for me not succumbing to those like shitty instincts
And being a terrible person.
and being a terrible person.
great.
I had to like I had to sit in a room alone and like think about life.
You got
Yeah, so
put
I
in the
went,
naughty corner by the universe.
yeah, I did. So I went through a breakup during COVID, so it was pretty fucking terrible. But no, it made me sit down and reassess. It's like, why do I have these feelings? Why do I want to backslide? Like, am I just feeling lonely, or am I just feeling horny? Am I just sad? It made me sit down and reassess all the things that I wanted to do. And I know that if I had free reign, I would have just done terrible things and would have been fine with it. Like, would have just justified it. It's like, oh, it's fine. Like, you know, I got screwed over, so if I screw someone else over, it's kind of fine. No big deal.
So it like offsets.
Yeah, it's just
You
how
think?
it's how it is, right? But no, I sat quiet in a room and thought about all the years and everything that panned out and what I can do to move on. It wasn't really moving on from the relationship, but it was more building myself up after the particularly unhealthy relationship I was in. So it was very like me, like mental health centric. And yeah, again with Julian, there's no right way to do this. It's just whatever you need to do to feel whole again, so you can go out and like date and meet and talk to new people. But the biggest thing is, and the most common thing is, leaning on your support network. So hanging out with your friends more, talking to people that you know, love and care about you.
Yeah.
And
100%.
yeah, that's always the
Yeah.
biggest thing I think to moving towards getting over a breakup.
I think, like, stemming from that, right? Like, in terms of like going through a toxic relationship, like I think it's really important to like work on your like self-love. I think that was really something that you put like you worked on a lot, which was really
Yeah.
good to see.
Yeah, self-esteem was like zero.
Yeah.
And so like,
Yeah. So I think
yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Luke? Speaking as someone who is actively going through a breakup right now, what are you doing to sort of get through it?
First, before we go into details or even minor details,
Uh-huh.
how long is it considered fresh?
It's
For
dependent
you?
on the
Wait, for
time.
you?
Yeah. Oh, like
3
for
weeks,
anyone.
I think
it's-
is still fresh.
So how long until it's not fresh?
I think it depends on how deep and how long your relationship was.
Mm.
So 5 years? What would you give an approximation?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put it
Yeah.
like that because every person
no
is
time
different.
frame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like every person is different.
Like you can take a year, man. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's however
a year,
long,
2, 3
however long you need to
even.
take to heal is how long you need to take to heal.
Yeah,
You know.
Right.
yeah. There's no right or wrong in terms of healing. I don't think.
Well,
It's
that
giving a really
flip the
fluffy
question on its
answer,
head.
but-
But what do you count as fresh then?
I don't know. I always felt like if someone asked me and it's like, oh, if I would told someone, I was like, oh, I just went through a breakup. And then I've heard answers in the past where it's like, oh yeah, we broke up 8 months ago. I'm like, oh, like I understand you're hurting, but I was like,
I think
Is that
to
really
them
fresh?
it's fresh, right? It's subjective.
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I was concerned. Like for me, like a month, I feel like yeah, fresh. 2 months, yeah. Like, but slowly at that point, I'm like, I wouldn't tell people it would be fresh. I mean, like we broke up 2 months ago.
Yeah, I don't think you would label it as fresh, especially at 8 months or something. But you would still be feeling the effects of it and not being ready.
Yeah.
You just won't classify it as fresh.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. So back to the main point of what was it? What I went through?
What you're doing to sort of get through the breakup.
Oh, okay.
What's the process?
So I remember process. We'll go maybe more in detail until later. But man, I've never cried that hard. Like no, as the breakup was happening, I never cried that hard in a
Like
long
you were
time.
having a conversation with her, and then
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
reasons
yeah.
why I started crying, but like
Yeah.
I haven't cried that hard in a long time. But anyways, after that, what do you call it? Like it was just weird because like I got home and my cousins were here. I didn't tell them right away. They don't actually even know about it now. But I'll tell them like Father's Day when I see them again. Because I'm like, it's just
When
weird.
you're ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like just weird. Like I was like, oh, I just came back from a breakup. It's just weird to say, right? First few days was a bit rough. I just didn't know what to do with myself. I was like sloughing so hard in bed, and it's like, damn, that hit hard.
Yeah.
Right. And then I think what helped with everything, besides other things that I'll tell you guys off screen later of what I was going through. And in fact, I had the Tomorrowland cough. That like I was like just
I mean, you're trying to
just recovering from
recover
a
your
cough.
physical
Yeah, so
self.
We got sick
Yeah.
post Tomorrowland.
Literally everyone that went to Tomorrowland got like a bad cough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, we were just all dealing with that, right? Dealing with other
So you were
stuff.
feeling emotionally run down and also physically run down.
Yeah, like
okay.
it got to a point where the physical just overtook the emotional at sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to sleep. I just want to rest. I can't stop coughing. Just like get rid of this cough kind of deal,
Yeah.
right? And then obviously with the non-contact, the small habits were like hard to kill. I'm like, damn, who do I message now to say goodnight? Who do I message to see who,
Yeah.
like how they're doing in the day? Who do I message when I have a stupid thought? Like just stuff like that.
Yep. Yep.
And what do you call it? Last night,
No, I feel this. I feel this.
last night I went to the movies with a mate and his mates, and I usually go to the movies with my ex, right? But I was like, I usually hold hands as well, so I had to lean away on the other side just out of habit, like not to grab my mate's hand and just start holding hands. It's like this is not right. This is so weird. You could exactly right. It's just like old habits that like die hard, and I'm like, huh. But I mean, like, hey, my dieting is better. Like, I don't like cheat day is not every Friday now. But like I said, there's so much free time that I have. I'm like, Friday I usually go somewhere, but I'm at home, which is weird.
Yeah.
And like even parents like, oh, you're at home today. It's like, are you sure you're not going out? I'm like, no.
Do they know?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can deal with that afterwards.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just
Look, because it's your first relationship, like I feel like it hits the hardest on your first, you know, because you've never experienced this feeling before.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to say it gets easier with time, but I've only been through one breakup, so I don't know. But I can imagine that since all this is as fresh as anything can be, it's just gonna suck.
Right.
And you got to ride the wave. But you know, you can focus on the fact that you do have more free time now, which you can reinvest either in your friends or yourself. Especially
I agree with
around
that, yeah.
this time as well, you can reorientate yourself to your goals and where you want to head. All things that are important, because you know you do exist outside that relationship.
Right. Yeah.
And I think for some people as well, it offers them a second to realize how much their identity was intertwined with someone else.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I'd like to agree with that.
I'm smart. But especially for like serial monogamists and stuff like that, like you're not that, but people who tend to just fall into relationships after relationships after relationships without any barrier in between them, you don't realize what it's like to be alone. And being okay with being alone is really important, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can choose to have someone else in your life, but I don't think as humans we should operate as I need this other person to make me feel whole.
Yeah, like codependent. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not about codependent relationships anymore.
Yeah.
So
Right. Anyone want to add on before I move to the next topic?
I think I'd just like to say like I think it is a fresh like breakup, but I think you do have like the people around you to support you.
Yeah.
I think you just need to like sometimes I think when I was like going through a breakup, which was last year, I don't know, would you consider that fresh? Like
I mean, the thing is, you're in a relationship now, so no, right? That's true, right?
the relationship, it's not fresh.
yeah, no, it's not fresh, correct.
So,
But like I think like I've probably been in like the most recent breakup like in this group, right? Other than you, right? So I can agree with like how you're feeling and like how, especially because you were in a long-term relationship with this person as well. Like, you know, they become your whole life essentially to an extent, right? Like you obviously go to them to like message them, to call them, to tell them about your day and all those things. So I think you just have to remember that you're not alone, because sometimes I think when I was in that state, I felt quite lonely, and I'm just letting you know that you're not alone. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I think it's good to have time to yourself, self-reflect.
Yeah.
I think the thing that would be detrimental, I guess, is when you go into like thought loops about the same thing over and over again.
Right.
But if you're genuinely self-reflecting and you're getting new insights out of it every time, you're looking at it from a different perspective, you're looking at why things wouldn't have worked or why things would have worked, and like letting go of those feelings, as long as you're getting somewhere, that time to yourself is still valuable.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was also thinking like usually after breakups you hear people go through phases. Like one is their hoe phase, one is their like medicinal phase. Let's call it medicinal phase. I don't want to use the word just in case we like, get demonetized and all that crap one day and all that. The other phase is like our travel bug phase. We go traveling a lot.
Yep. Then
Our lonely phase, our music emo phase, and just like all these different phases. And I was just curious, like, did you guys like match to that thing? You know what I mean? Like one of those criterias.
Yeah, I mean, I always fell into the hoe phase. Well, I did a toxic hoe
Good to know.
phase.
Good to know.
I just didn't do it in a mean spirited way. But again, like however your grieving process is, that's fine.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
As long as I guess you're not hurting anyone, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. And you
That's
probably
very
will hurt
important.
people,
Yeah.
like, unintentionally, but try to not be an asshole, really. But, hurt people. If you end up hurting someone someday because of your actions during that breakup period, don't, don't beat yourself up over it, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next topic I wanted to make is how long until you get back into the game? What do you guys have a general idea, or like for yourself? Do you guys know?
Get back into the game, as in like you
Start
want to
dating again.
date seriously, or date for fun.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is it difference? I don't know.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my first time.
100%
like,
difference.
It's just like
100% difference. I said it in his mic already, but to answer that question, I would say, well, for me, I think it was like 6 months, 6 to 9 months. It's kind of the time. But what I was doing was just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it took me. Well, actually, I met someone maybe like a week after I broke up with my ex, and like we had an exclusive.
That's a
sort of thing.
rebound.
Yeah, it's a rebound thing,
And
but it
that's
wasn't like a
fine.
serious dating. Or a fun dating thing. But like in terms of like actual fun dating for dating apps, I think it took me like a year and a half.
Yeah, same. About a year before I started seriously wanting someone like in my life in a consistent way, like dating type stuff. But before then, it would just be, random
For fun.
Yeah.
for fun.
What about you, Julian?
For fun, maybe like 4 or 5 months in after. And then I think I actually was looking for a relationship maybe like 2 years later.
Right.
I will say I think it's less of a period of time and more a vibe of that you're not bringing in too much baggage if you entered into a new relationship.
That's the next thing I'll bring up. But
I do also want to mention, like, I think it also depends on, like, the stage of life as well, like age and state, like, where you are, I think depends.
I think if
as
you're
well.
in your mid 20s, I think you then start to realize that, oh, my past relationship wasn't great. I need to work on myself before I get into another relationship. And then
Yeah.
it'll be better that way.
Yeah. Because I think there's, like, usually
Okay.
in terms of, like, getting married and all of that, engaged and all of that, I think there's, like, a little bit more of a timeline. So I think, yeah, when you break up around mid-20s, for example, like, sometimes there's times where, like, you reevaluate, like, your next relationship and what you want in your next relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine. We can cut this part. Yeah,
Sorry?
He's unlocked it before, and then it was still recording.
He was still
oh no,
recording, yeah.
I just wanted to see the time of how long we've been doing.
Oh
it.
yeah, I said look at the other one.
That's how
That's
many
not-
seconds?
that's not, yeah.
How many
Oh.
beats?
Just-
Sorry.
You need to
okay,
unlock
I
your
don't
laptop.
know.
9:53.
Sorry?
No,
9:53.
the timing of recording.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll fix this up. Sorry.
59.
Oh, 59 minutes. Oh, we didn't even get the part. All right. Then again, there's a buffer of 5 minutes. All right, we'll fix it up.
Ready?
Oh, not yet. All right. Yeah. So last point before we end the app. How do you know if you have emotional baggage or not? Like, I'm curiously don't know if I do, and I'm just afraid that I would bring it in the next relationship or even back to my ex if got back together. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. The answer is yes. Like, no matter what. Like, even if you feel like you're ready, you're going to walk into a situation where, like, you haven't dealt with it before. So, in my particular case, the emotional baggage that I worked on was very individual. And so I thought I sorted all that stuff out, and I did. And then when I went back into the dating pool and I was with someone again, that's when, like, the test of whether or not you have baggage actually happens. And so that can't happen without another person. Does that make sense? So, like,
So even if he says he doesn't, it's only when you're in a situation when you put yourself
out there. Yeah.
That's when you realize yes or no.
Yeah.
Like you need those interactions in order to assess whether you still have that emotional baggage.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So,
So,
like-
can you give me an example? Just
So, like for example, if you have like baggage over sex, let's just say, like that is inherently a two-person thing, and so you can work on yourself as much as possible in order to sort your side of that particular interaction out. But it won't be until you actually have sex with someone that you will be dealing with that, like. But it won't be until you're actually having sex that you will be dealing with that in a live sort of situation. The thoughts that will go through your brain while you're having sex with someone would only happen when you're having sex with someone. You know.
I think I have another example. In my previous relationship, I was really stubborn. Like I think that would cause fights. And then breaking up and then reevaluating the relationship, I feel like now I'm not as stubborn. What do you think? Now we have a live person to give
Take
me
a break.
feedback.
Studio audience.
another ex under the belt, right? I'm joking.
I don't think you're that stubborn
I-
though, but I didn't know what you were like before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if you ask my friends before, they would also say that I was really stubborn. But I think I've
Really?
definitely learnt to play down that stubbornness. And like, if I do feel like something that he's saying is triggering my stubbornness, I'll be like, hang on, do I really need to be this way? And then I would be like, not stubborn. Yeah.
So you're saying you're willing
maturity.
to compromise more? Like that's basically what it is, right? Or is it?
It's compromising, but like also like knowing that, do I need this fight?
Yeah.
Like, do I?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's not necessary.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me as well.
Yeah.
Is whether or not like I want to deal with the emotional turmoil of this fight, or can I just like let this one thing go, and ultimately it won't change my day, and it's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Interesting.
So you're not as reactive anymore.
I
to
think
the
so. Yeah,
situation,
100%.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really good that you had that time to reflect.
Yeah, I think it's all about noticing. Like when you notice you're feeling a certain way, or like you notice that you're stubborn, and you notice then that leads to a fight, and overall it's a worse experience for yourself that you brought onto yourself. When the cogs start turning, like you put two and two together that like when this happens, then this happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you mature, and that's, I guess, how you change the way you do things.
Yeah. I think that's like self-awareness, right? Like in terms of like how you are as a person. And that's only like you only learn that through relationships, right? Like that being friends or like in a romantic relationship. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. Right. Not bad, you guys. We hit a good time mark. Before we go, concluding question. So, in a few short words, what would you tell the audience if they were going through a breakup?
Well, I would say it's really hard, and I guess when I went through my first breakup, it was so hard that I was crying a lot, and it took so much time. So honestly, it just takes time, and even if you don't think it's gonna change the way you feel, you'll soon feel better. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think anyone who's going through a breakup, I think you just need to know, like that it's not always going to feel this way. Like you need time to, I guess, reevaluate you as a person, you in a relationship. And I think you should just work on, I guess, spending time with your friends and family, your support network, whoever that may be. Definitely talk things through when you're ready. And yeah, just love yourself and work on yourself. I think that's super important. Yeah.
Yeah, the healing process is not linear and takes a long time. So don't judge yourself too hard if you're not over a thing by a certain point, or if you need to do something in order to heal from the particular breakup, I think. If you make mistakes, yeah. It's important to be vulnerable to those feelings and yourself and to the people who care about you that are around you. And you should tap into that. You should just be aware that there are people that still love you, and you should tap into that in those moments where you do feel lonely or you feel like you are alone. Like, you can hit up a mate, have a chat, you know, and it's okay. Or even if you just
need to be in the same room together and just sit there.
Yeah, just
like,
vibe out.
Just being present, like, it's completely fine. Like, everyone heals, differently. So at your own pace.
Yeah. I'd say, like, you had a life before your relationship. You're gonna have a life after. How many people also have breakups? It's a normal thing. So everyone has to deal with the way you feel as well. And you will probably feel the same way about the next person at some other point in time, but you just got to get there. And all you have to do is just, keep working and just wait.
Fair enough.
And what would you say to yourself, Luke?
One deep breath at a time.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, one deep breath
yeah.
at a time.
That's good.
That's
good, man.
how I like coped with it most of the time when I like kept thinking about it. Just like not that rattling one. That was a bad one. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, it was supposed to be that rattling, guys. I don't know what's happening. Look, we didn't get through to talk to about my breakup this time. If you guys want to know more and
subscribe to the Patreon.
Exactly, right?
$5 a month. $5 a month.
Subscribe, share, and everything, and we'll get back to it next time for part 2. All right, thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.